Hello, my YouTube minions. This is TheKillerNacho yet again, and I have another battle for you today against SKmuffinEXE. Actually, a friend of mine. This battle is a random battle, which on Pokemon Showdown is kind of like the equivalent of roulette. So we're getting a team of random Pokemon to use, and we're going to battle with them. Anyway, SKmuffinEXE also has a YouTube. I'll leave the link in the description for that. And he also has a Twitch, and he streams a lot more than I do, so I'll leave his Twitch in the video description as well. I've actually known him for quite some time. We have a mutual friend. But yeah, so that was pretty cool that he got the battle on stream. It was completely random, as always, so everyone has a chance. But yeah, this is a random match, and two more battles to come after this, a UU and another OU match. But I thought the random battle would be an interesting change of pace for today. So I'm actually on the right side for once today. You're looking at me, you're looking at the butts of my Pokemon right now. Anyway, so Meganium is randomly my lead, and you'll notice that we don't know each other's Pokemon yet, because in random battles, you don't have team reveal on, so that's a pretty interesting mechanic. Anyway, I'm just going to switch out into Magcargo so he can set up the Stealth Rocks. He ends up going out wisely into his Talonflame. And now he's just going to U-turn, I guess kind of wanting to see what I do, although that means that Talonflame is going to take a lot of damage when it tries to switch back in. So anyway, here comes Salamence, and he's going to get off a Fake Out, which, you know, is pretty predictable. But for now, I'm going to go out to Jirachi because I figure I can take most things that Delcatty does. I mean, what does a Delcatty even do? I don't know. But I go out to Jirachi, and he ends up T-waving me. Now, you'll notice that there are Pokemon of all tiers in this, but stronger Pokemon in the random mode have a higher level. So even if I get a Pokemon like, even if I get an Uber like Mewtwo, it's going to be a lot lower level than, say, if I get a Pokemon like Delibird. But I don't think not fully evolved Pokemon appear, though I might be wrong. Regardless, anyway, Talonflame is going to burn Salamence, and for some reason I did not see it coming at all. And yeah, that sucks. He's going to U-turn away, and the best I can really do is set up Dragon Dances. Then he goes out into Delcatty. And, of course, his Delcatty is going to fake me out, and I can really only hope that I can finish it off with after 2 Dragon Dances with a Dragon Claw, although I figure I probably won't. But I end up getting a crit! Huzzah! Yay! Hacks! Unfortunately for me, my Moxie boost is going to go to waste because I'm just going to die to the burn. Oh well. He gets rid of my Salamence, and all I got rid of was a Delcatty. Okay, so here comes a Talonflame, and I got a Lugia. A freaking Uber of Doom. Lugia is probably one of my favorite Ubers. It really is just a giant troll Pokemon. Anyway, he goes into his Zygarde thing, which is like the Z Pokemon in X and Y, new legendary or whatever. Yeah, and then he takes that kind of nicely. So he goes for an Extreme Speed, and I'm just going to go for a Toxic, because, you know, I don't really know what Zygarde does, but, you know, getting a Toxic off on most things is pretty handy. It's going to limit the amount of turns it can stay in. And at that point, I remember, hey, I actually remember to look up its type, and apparently it is Dragon Ground, and I have Ice Beam, so obviously that is a pretty awesome hit. Although it does not finish off the Zygarde, unfortunately, despite being X4 effective. He's going to continue to Extreme Speed me, but he doesn't know I have Roost, so I just go for a Roost, and now Lugia is pretty much full HP again. So I'm feeling pretty good that I can probably go ahead and just wall him with Lugia. Regardless, Zygarde is defeated, and I'm like, heck yeah, too bad he has another Uber, I think. Though, yeah, I'm 99% sure a Darkrai is still an Uber. If it wasn't, oh god. Anyway, so he's going to Trick. I guess that hurts Lugia a bit, but I just go for a Toxic, so now I'm locked into it, and of course I miss my Toxic. So that would have been kind of nice to hit the Toxic there. So I'm just going to keep going for it. I mean, figure why not, at least until I can get that Darkrai poisoned. I mean, I'm kind of afraid he was going to put me to sleep, but at the same time, it's whatever, once he's Toxic. Anyway, I miss another Toxic, which is funny, but he just goes into Swallow anyway, and he has a Toxic Orb, so he ends up poisoning himself, so it's not really a big of a deal. I go into Magcargo to take his Facade, because that's a pretty obvious thing to have. And, yeah, I do take it okay, even after the crit. I go for a Fire Blast, of course I miss. He goes for a Sub, and I don't really predict a Sub. Didn't feel like switching. I mean, I don't really know what this Darkrai has yet, aside from a few other moves, like Trick. But he has a Focus Blast, which is not good, although he does miss, and then I end up hitting with Fire Blast and burning him on top of it, so there you go, some revenge there for my misses earlier. Anyway, so now the Darkrai's burned. I think it's going to die this turn anyway. I don't know why. I really cannot remember why I thought going into Scrafty was a good idea. I cannot remember for the life of me. Fire Dark, I just saw that it had a Focus Blast. And then he goes into Medicham, and I have no idea why I stayed in. And of course, it is Mega Medicham. Funny story, in my first random battle, I had this stream, I believe I got completely swept by a Medicham because my random team had really nothing for it. Everything was weak to Medicham attack, and of course Mega Medicham is super fast, so yeah, I'm kind of fearing that Mega Medicham right now, but of course my team is a bit more suited to counter in this battle. Regardless, I go out into Jirachi, and I kind of just do this to Toxic Stall this Swellow a bit. I mean, I'm going to be able to resist the Facade because of my Steel type, and hopefully I'll be able to wither it down, and it does look like it's going to die this turn, so that was really awesome. Got rid of the Swellow. Now I go back into Lugia because I don't really think he has much to do to me. He goes back into his Talonflame, and I'm just going to lock myself into Toxic because Talonflame is obviously going to die after the poison damage, and he actually killing himself to the Flare Blitz anyway. But then he goes into Medicham, so I figure I can get the Toxic off on that. I don't really know what... he has a Fire Punch, and that does decent damage to Lugia. But, you know, if I can get off a Roost on Lugia and lock myself into Roost, I can pretty much guaranteed Toxic Stall him out. So I just go into Meganium, just pretty much... I mean, I kind of thought he'd be going for the Fire Punch. I kind of expected my Meganium to be 2 at KO, but then I could just switch back into Lugia and lock myself into Roost. But, no, he ends up just going for the Bullet Punch to try to... I don't even know, because I was locked into Toxic at that point. But, anyway, yeah, so Meganium will end up just killing it with Giga Drain, which is pretty nice. Anyway, so that was a fun little battle. Random battles are always kind of fun, especially when you get balanced teams. I mean, sometimes, though, you run the risk in random battles that one team is so much better than the other, and there's nothing really you can do, but... it's a lot of fun. So yeah. I guess leave in the description what is your favorite type of battle to do in Pokemon Showdown. I mean, obviously you can choose one of the tiers, OU, UU, NU, or I don't even know if RU exists anymore, or you could say random battles or something else. Actually, Shogun Showdown has Pokemon battles of all generations, not just Generation 6, so if you prefer doing Gen 4 battles, or Gen 3, or Gen 1 battles. Actually, someone on stream wanted me to do one of those. Maybe I'll do it sometime. Anyway, leave a comment about that, and later.